Whoa, hold on. Before you start sending us hate mail, this could work. The Joker's a character that's been around for over 70 years, and in that time he's gone through many changes. So why not take the Clown Prince of Crime and make him the protagonist of his own book in 2017? Let us know what your favorites are, and remember to push that red button to subscribe for more. It would add depth to his character. The Joker turning face brings a whole lot of questions that a good writer would love to explore. What's the Joker's motivation behind being a hero? Is it the setup for one of his own crimes, or has he genuinely changed sides? These are questions that would be absolutely fascinating to both the reader and the writer, and it could be made a real mystery as the series progresses. We've seen supervillains become good guys for dark, selfish reasons before, such as in the acclaimed Dan Slott series Superior Spider-Man. It would also allow us to analyze how he differs from Batman in his approach to fighting crime. It could even pit him against the Bat, who would understandably be concerned that the Joker's acting so bizarrely. It makes sense in lore. One of the best books for understanding the Joker and why he does what he does is Grant Morrison's Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth. The book features the Joker's therapist, who's run numerous tests on the Joker and has found that the Joker chooses to invent himself nearly every day. This is why the Joker is less a character and more a plot device for whatever writers want to do. The Joker's constant reinvention is why he changes so drastically between stories, why his motivations are so unclear, and why he can be a harmless jokester one day and a maniac the next. This means that one day the Joker could wake up and reinvent himself as a hero of sorts. It would need to be explained in the book that he does this, but it would all make sense in the peculiar mind of the Clown Prince of Crime. It's hard to root against him. The Joker is so ridiculously popular that fans are rooting for him anyway. He's reached a point in popularity where fans don't love to hate him, they just love him. Getting him to be a good guy would make sense given current fan reaction. Whenever the Joker walks into a panel, his die-hard fans are ecstatic and want to see him do more. We've reached a point over the years where it's impossible to get anyone to hate the most popular villain in comics. So he isn't the most effective adversary for Batman to fight anymore. He simply doesn't draw that negative reaction from the fans. In the world of professional wrestling, when a bad guy gets really popular and starts getting the cheers, they'll make him a good guy so he can chase that title. The Joker has most definitely reached that level, and a book that stars him could be just what DC needs to sell issues, considering how low comic sales are at the moment. He can still be the Joker. The main counter-argument that the Joker should remain a villain is that being a good guy would be a betrayal of the clown's character. This is simply not true. Apart from the fact that it wouldn't interfere with the pre-established lore of the character, rebirth or not, the Joker doesn't have to be a by-the-numbers good guy who helps old ladies down the street. He can be a Deadpool-like character where he does bad things but tends to do them to bad people. He could even still be at odds with Batman and face off against other villains. This doesn't mean that he has to fall into the trap of edgy anti-heroes either, though. The Joker has so many unique traits, such as his pranks, elaborate traps, and personality, it would stop him from going too far down the 90s rabbit hole. In fact, you wouldn't necessarily need the Joker to act much differently, just change the opponents he faces. There's more opportunity to create new supervillains for him to fight. If there's one major problem that the comics industry has, it's that all of its iconic characters are over 40 years old. Even the cooler new villains like Hush and Bloom get left in the shadow of Two-Face, the Joker, and Lex Luthor. If there's any character who could get eyes on some brand new villains and make them popular, it's the Joker. Giving the Joker a new mortal enemy other than Batman would completely solidify them as a staple of DC, provided they were well written. When a new villain fights Batman, they have to stand out from the rest of his impressive rogues gallery. The Joker has no pre-existing rogues gallery, which means that you can start anew and give him some new enemies to fight and also make more use of older enemies who haven't quite gotten their due yet. It can be used to improve the three Jokers plotline. At the time of this video, DC have 3 Jokers running about. This was meant as a sales booster to finally discover the origins of the Joker. It was met with negative reception from fans and critics, but it does serve as a window for the Joker to fight crime in his own storyline. With 3 Jokers to choose from and a retcon being near imminent, it could be the perfect time to experiment with the story using one of the 3 Jokers without damaging the character's reputation. It also means that the Joker could, at one point, fight himself. More importantly, it would give more purpose to a storyline that fans are currently not happy with. While it's almost guaranteed that the Joker's face turn would be met with hostility at first, there's plenty of time to win hardcore comic fans over. It opens doors for a Joker solo movie. At this point in time, comics are more of a formality for comic book companies. All the real money comes from movie deals and adaptations, which is why from a business perspective, a superhero Joker opens up doors for a Joker solo movie. DC already knows that a movie starring all villains will sell because of Suicide Squad, so a Joker movie should be able to pull in a lot of money in not only ticket sales but home video and merchandising too. The comic book would serve for a good testing ground, as DC and Marvel rarely want to take a risk with an idea that's not already been testing in comic book format to some degree. If the comic did well, then you could guarantee a financially successful movie to come out of it. It doesn't have to be the only version of the Joker. We mentioned earlier that it could be one of 3 Jokers, but it doesn't even have to be in the main continuity. This could be done as an alternate universe story. With the many alternate reality takes on the Joker, it would be easy to fit the Joker in as a hero in one of them. This means that you can have a Joker series running alongside DC's other titles that doesn't have to adhere to any big crossover events that could potentially derail the story. It also prevents the main universe Joker from changing if fans are really opposed to such a change. It could even be used in a reality where Batman and the Joker swap roles and the Joker's trying to stop Batman from committing crime, if we really want to be cliche. It could lend itself to a wildly different tone as well, being anything from campy Silver Age to gritty and grim like the one-shot Joker by Brian Azzarello. Arkham Asylum could provide the setting. One of the best things about Batman as a series is how strong and iconic a landmark Arkham Asylum is. Assuming DC didn't want to make a Joker ongoing series, Arkham would make for a great setting for a Joker one-shot. Arkham has everything you need for a Joker story. A claustrophobic, creepy atmosphere, a long, fleshed-out history, and most importantly, tons of villains and psychiatrists that could give the book its own unique identity. With plenty of villains to fight, the Joker could turn over a new leaf just for that one day, fight off a villain uprising in the asylum, and then wake up the very next day bad to the bone yet again. It could make for a great one-off story that could add more layers to the Joker's character without interfering too much with DC's canon. The Joker has become stale as a character. There needs to be something to give this character new life. The Joker's been Batman's big bad for so long, and he's been crammed down the audience's throats so many times that he mostly succeeds in taking the spotlight off of other villains. While there are a lot of fans that think the Joker needs a break, it's only part of the problem. The Joker as a character has become stale, and he needs something to breathe new life into him. It doesn't matter what villainous antics get him to do, it's never enough to shock the audience, and ultimately it's all been done before. What the Joker needs is something new and unique. Batman has other villains that he should be fighting, and DC should be making more bankable characters out of those villains. Give Batman a break from the Joker and let Mr. J do something that hasn't been done before. While some may view it as blasphemy, it could be just what the character needs. Well, that's our list, and those are our reasons. Be sure to comment below and tell us how wrong we are, but most importantly, be sure to give us a thumbs up and check out the rest of our channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to CBR for cool videos about movies, action heroes, gaming, comics, and more.